Hey, I'm Jamie from Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite games with delightful unboxing experiences. I'm not talking about unboxing videos. I'm talking about when I open the game for the first time and I have just a joyful moment or time unboxing the game. I actually did this just yesterday with a game, and it wasn't an unjoyful experience, but the game was a little cumbersome to unbox. I had to punch out a lot of tokens in the game. It had a lot of shrink wrap that I had to work with, and I didn't exactly know where things went in the game. Wasn't a bad experience, but it was a contrast to some of the games that I'll talk about today, where it was just a joy to unbox them and look through the components and organize them in the game. So I think this does have an impact on our impressions of games, our first experience with games, given that it may not get to the table right away, but the unboxing experience is part of the overall experience of the game. Some of the different topics I'll talk about today are inserts and organization in games, a concise fit, like how well a game fits in the box, games, deluxe games versus standard versions of games, having little Easter eggs in the games themselves, having eco-friendly packaging can be really satisfying to open when you see clever ways that the game has done eco-friendly elements. When unboxing the game showcases the game's potential in terms of gameplay and mechanisms. When a game has an intellectual property and just like going through the game and seeing how the game has depicted that intellectual property, especially if you haven't seen the game depicted or seen the IP depicted in that way before, that can be really satisfying. The element of legacy games where the unboxing experience reveals a lot of secrets at first, and then you are slowly unboxing that game over time. That can have a big impact. And also the idea of customization and personalization in games, where maybe you pick and chose certain things to come out of a crowdfunding campaign, for example, and you get to see how all those elements finally come together in the game that you actually got. So I'll talk about those different topics today as I delve deeper into this topic. So let's go over and look at some of the games to discuss today. So the first game on the list is Imperial Settlers. This falls into the category of Easter eggs, and this is I put this at number 10 because this is I think the only game on this list that I haven't actually personally unboxed, but I think it has such a delightful unboxing element that's worth mentioning here, and that is if you pull up the insert on Imperial Settlers, you see this little message on the side of the box saying mission failed, he found us. Oh crap. Just a little bit of comedy, a little Easter egg, a little hidden thing that some people may not ever discover in the game. Just on the insert, doesn't impact the gameplay at all. But just these delightful little touches that you can find on some games when you unbox them, I think can really bring joy to the experience. And I think Imperial Settlers does that really well. Number 10. Let's get to the games that I have actually personally unboxed. The Isle of Cats is one of my favorite games, period. Delightful polyomino game featuring a bunch of cats on these polyomino tiles that you're trying to fit into a boat. There's drafting. You get an influx of resources every round. Delightful game. The unboxing itself includes something special. It kind of goes into the Easter egg category as well, where on the top of the box, it has the cat setup. It says if you have a pet cat, you should place it here while playing Isle of Cats. It's just one of those little things in the game that feels like they went above and beyond to make the unboxing experience and the gameplay experience a little special. Because if you have a cat, you know the cats love to get in boxes. The game comes with a top that is made for you to put a cat into. Beyond this, the game is a delight to unbox. There is a lot to punch. There are a lot of tiles in the game, but it also has some really beautiful play mats that are just kind of a joy to look at. They also have Easter eggs on the play mats themselves. But I think that the box top itself is the key part of the unboxing experience of the Isle of Cats at number 9. At number 8 is a fairly recent unboxing for me. This is Ecosfera, a cooperative game about rehabilitating some habitats. And this falls into the eco-friendly category. I was amazed by how eco-friendly they made this game. The game even has a little note on it about how much effort and time and effort went into making the packaging eco-friendly. And so kind of a written reminder of what they did, but also a visual reminder of how they use no plastic at all in the packaging. If you've, I don't know if you've ever unboxed a game that doesn't have plastic, that uses paper instead of shrink wrap, but it's actually just easier to open. Like it's easier to open than shrink wrap. And so it's just a little bit more joyful to open. And just knowing how much effort they put into making the packaging eco-friendly and making the game itself eco-friendly, I thought was commendable and really truly added joy to my unboxing experience for Ecosfera. That's why it's at number 8 on this list. On the other end of the spectrum, a game that features a lot of plastic, but the plastic adds to the joy of the unboxing experience, is the Grimm Forest. It's been a long time since I played this game, but I remember unboxing it because I was amazed by what they did with the components in this game. The art is beautiful. The production is beautiful. The building miniatures that you can see here, they are really beautiful because there are multiple pieces that have these intricate little designs, and you actually put them together. You assemble them as you're playing. The player mats, I love that they didn't go with just a standard shape of player mat. They're this unique shape. And the inserts themselves, the game has, let's see if I can find the inserts. The inserts are really, really beautifully crafted. I think there are game trays inserts. No, I don't have one. You can see actually here, all the play mats are different shapes. That adds to the experience of unboxing as well. But yeah, the inserts are custom inserts. You can see that everything has a place in the game. The Grimm Forest truly is a joy to unbox. That's why it's at number 7 on this list. And number 6 is Reviving Kathmandu. And this is one where I was impressed not just by the quality of the components. You can see they have these dual layered mats. They have these really nice tokens. They're not bakelite. They're kind of a clay token. And they have a metal bell in the game. I think each player might actually have one of these. No, maybe there's just one. But yeah, just the quality of the components, really, really high. But also, I mentioned concise fit as being a category in the game. There's a lot in this box in Reviving Kathmandu, but it all fits perfectly into the box. And I was really impressed by that they fit so many components into such a small box and that they fit so well into the box. There's even kind of like a section of the box that you lift up to reveal other components. So they are stored nicely, even with a plastic insert. You're able to store different components in different places. Reviving Kathmandu really was a joy to unbox because of all these different factors in the game. That's why it's at number 6. And number 5 is another game that fits really well into the box using the plastic insert. This is Mysterium Park. So the components in Mysterium Park are themselves a joy to unbox. They're beautiful. The art in the game is stunning. And it's nice I didn't want to spoil too much in the game, but I did look through some of the art as I was unboxing it. But seeing how well this little box fits everything into the insert in a way that's not just concise, but is easy to remove from the game to set up. You can see there's these card holders. There's a different size compartment below that. This one has a different compartment below it as well. It's things upon things upon things that fit so well into the insert. And some of you might say, oh, well, it's designed so well that you can't sleeve the cards. And I say, so what? Like, these cards, you don't shuffle them very often. They are very durable. They hold up. I am fine with the game not considering sleeving if it's going to fit this well into a box. And an insert that's this well designed. I'm totally fine with that. And I love Mysterium Box. I had a great unboxing experience with it and have gotten it to the table many, many times. In fact, I would say the unboxing experience of Mysterium Park is so good that every time I open the game, I feel like I'm getting that unboxing experience from the game itself. It's a number 4 on the list. Sleeping Gods, in terms of the category of like showing a game's potential, this game is a true joy to unbox. It does take a little bit of work. There are cards to unwrap, there are tokens to punch, things to organize, things that you want to look at, but you can't really look at yet because you don't want to spoil what the world is. But just being able to see a little bit of the game as you unbox it and seeing this nice tuck box, sturdy tuck box with a magnet on it, it truly makes you wonder at the things that you're going to discover as you are playing Sleeping Gods. I think the game does a wonderful job in the unboxing experience of hinting at things to come, hinting at the game's potential and how much you'll discover in the game. Yeah, it does a wonderful job of that. I highly commend Sleeping Gods for the world that it created, but also just the potential that you feel really when you open the box is incredible in Sleeping Gods. That's why it's at number 4 on this list. And number 3 is Let's Go to Japan. And I wanted to mention this game in particular because not just are the components beautiful in this game, but if you have even the slightest upgraded copy of the game, you have wooden tokens instead of punchboard tokens. And my Kickstarter copy had the wooden tokens. And I had a moment where I was unboxing it, where I was looking at all these punch boards and I was like, oh, great, I got to spend some time punching these punch boards, which I know can be satisfying for some people, but sometimes I just want to open the game and discover what's in it. And then I realized that I had wooden tokens for everything. I didn't need to punch. I think I needed to punch like one token type, and that was it. But just the idea that I could just open the box and essentially have it already be set up for me was incredible. That all the tokens, because they were wooden, were essentially pre-punched. That was really, really delightful for me to find in Let's Go to Japan. So it was a good reminder to me that sometimes, instead of making the nice wooden tokens add-ons, if I can fit it into the budget of the game, it removes so much of the setup from the game that it might be worth it just including them out of the gate. I did this with Charterstone. In Charterstone, you do have to unwrap some cards that are in shrink wrap, but beyond that, in Charterstone, there's nothing to punch. You just open the box and you are good to go. And I think that's a nice part of the experience where you can just open the game and start playing. That is a joyful part of the unboxing experience for me too, when the game is pre-prepared for me to start playing it. And Let's Go to Japan, at least the slightly upgraded copy, did that in spades. In fact, I really don't think it was upgraded. I think this is the standard Kickstarter copy that had the wooden components in it. That's number 3. And number 2 is Marvel Dice Throne. This game does a beautiful job of unboxing in that the components for each character in the game come in their own plastic compartment that is completely self-contained. It has this player mat folded up. It has the dice. It has the cards. They're all pre-packaged into the components. Talking about games like Let's Go to Japan, where everything is ready to go. If you open a copy of Marvel Dice Throne, you are ready to start playing within seconds. You can just pull out a character, open it up, and start playing. It's incredible how smooth the unboxing experience is in Marvel Dice Throne. It also does show you the game's potential, because if you have the big box like I do, you have 8 different characters in the game. So when you open one character, you're already wondering, oh, how is this different than this other character? You can definitely see the potential for the game just by opening the box and seeing that row of 8 different characters pre-punched, ready to go, ready for you to play with them. Yeah, incredible game, Marvel Dice Throne. Great, great unboxing experience. And the art is incredible in the game from Manny Tremblay. Last, number 1 is Mechs versus Minions. When I opened this game, I was flabbergasted that a game of this price could come with these components. And they didn't make much money off this game because of the price that they offered for it. But the components and the organization of the components are absolutely stunning in Mechs versus Minions. Everything comes pre-organized in the game. You have these big metal tokens instead of cardboard tokens. You have all these ink washed miniatures, and there's layer after layer. So you open the game, and you're like, okay, this is a ton of components out of the gate. And then you remove this top tray, and you see another tray of more miniatures and components, and then another and another, and they're all organized. Everything is already in the tray where it needs to go. It kind of hits everything on this list that I've talked about so far. Like the beauty of the components, the organization, even in a giant box, it feels like a concise fit because they fit so much into this giant box. And the fact that the game is ready to go. You're ready to play the game right out of the gate. And also there's a sense of mystery to it because there's one box that you can't open out of the gate. You have to open that one later. It is just, if you ever get the chance to open a copy of Mechs versus Minions, I highly recommend it. It left me in awe. I think it will leave you in awe as well. And so, yeah, Mechs versus Minions was my number 1. I still like the memory of playing the game is one thing, but I also have just distinctly happy memories of opening Mechs versus Minions for the first time, and then for subsequent times as well. It feels, I get a similar experience from opening the game again and kind of remembering what all these components are and lifting them out of the box and seeing what they look like. That is part of the ongoing unboxing experience for Mechs versus Minions. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, what are some of your recent games or older games where you just had a delightful time unboxing the game, and what made that experience happen? Like, what did the publisher do to make you have that joyful unboxing experience? I'd love to hear about that in the comments below. Thanks.